Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Larry Talks and Happy New Year. And hope you have a great 2026. In this video, we're going to be talking about why the NRL have gotten the rule changes for 2026 wrong. It's a lost opportunity, and I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. Don't forget to leave your comments in below because I'll be reading and responding to those throughout the coming days. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe because we upload compelling rugby league content every few days. Now, let's the NRL have been talking about rule changes for a little while, and every single year they seem to overthink and overcook and overanalyze what changes should we make. And I think it's a lost opportunity. Now, I will go through each proposed rule and give you my analysis and assessment on whether they are good, bad, or not, and why. But the number one issue that I have with the NRL is they seem to get stuck in this never-ending cycle of making changes that just are not needed to be made. And I think some of these changes are positive, but they're not solving the bigger and broader issues. Let me talk about the proposed changes and give you my thoughts on those. And then let's talk about what I think they could have done that would have been more effective and better received by fans. So they start by talking about the kickoff rule overhaul. So at the moment, if a team scores a try, that team then receives following a kickoff. So you get to keep the ball for scoring a try. Now they're proposing that changes if a team scores, the scoring team then kicks off. I don't have too much of an issue with that. It almost follows European football or soccer in terms of if the team scores, the other team gets the ball back. And I think that's actually a positive change. It does give the team that has conceded an opportunity to then come back into the game, which I think is good. So I'd say that's a positive change. I'm going to give that one a tick of approval. The other change that has come about is expanded matchday squads. Now, this is something that I've personally advocated for at least 5 years. I like the idea. So what they're proposing is currently the interchange bench has 4 players and an 18th man in the event of a concussion, or if you have 3 concussions. And this change would propose that we have 7 players available on the interchange bench. Sorry, 6, I correct myself. But then only 4 of those players could actually actively play. So if 4 players make it to the rugby league field, then those 4 players are the only 4 players that will be allowed to play. And the other 2 players will simply just need to warm the bench. I love this rule. I think this is such a positive move forward. It will allow teams to carry more specialists. So whether you carry a player who can play center and wing, you carry a player who can cover your halves positions. And that's going to be even more tactically adept for the strong managers because there's a tool for every game. And I give the Bulldogs as a good example, have played with a smaller forward pack in most recent years. So when they're coming against a larger forward pack like the Sydney Roosters, like the Canberra Raiders, to list a few examples, they will want to carry more middle forwards on the bench. You don't necessarily want to carry a Reid Marnie type player or someone who is of a smaller mold. So for example, Kurt Mann and Bradley Hayward, you wouldn't want those 2 players on the same interchange bench. So again, I think this is a good change. Unfortunate for the 2 players who don't get on the field, but it's a good change for the team. And it does mean that you don't have to watch your team struggle with a back rower playing center and your whole back line falling apart because of an injury, a concussion, or whatever it may be. So positive move by the NRL there. No 7 tackle set for scoring knock-ons. So they're saying that if there is a knock-on in the try scoring zone, it won't be a 7 tackle set, it'll be a 6 tackle set. Now, this is where I started to get a little bit annoyed. The 7 tackle set was the stupidest rule that ever came in. It happened because over 10 years ago now, Matt Rogers was playing for the Gold Coast Titans and he kicked the ball dead constantly against the Melbourne Storm to stop Billy Slater from returning the ball and tearing the Titans apart. The Titans then went on to win that game in a huge upset. Now, that to me was tactically sound by the Gold Coast Titans, and I believe it was John Cartwright who was the coach at the time. I think that should be rewarded for being very strategic, and he got rewarded in such with the 2 points. Now, this rule, while I agree in principle that a knock-on from the attacking team should result in a 6 tackle restart at the 20-meter line, not a 7 tackle start at the 20-meter line, Why not just make that the rule, period? If someone kicks the ball dead, is a 20-meter restart not enough? Why do you need 7 tackles and a 20-meter restart? That's ridiculous. That rule should be scrapped altogether. They introduced that rule, as I said, because of a knee-jerk reaction to Matty Rogers kicking Billy Slater out of a game. It happened once. And in typical NRL fashion, there was a knee-jerk reaction. And then they introduced the 7-tackle restart, which no one asked for and no one wanted. And here we are. So this is a step forward, but just go all the way forward. Just get rid of the 7-tackle start at the 20-meter mark. It's ridiculous. So look, rugby league is all about it's all about field position. It's all about making your way up the field. If you are good enough to get up the field and score a try after a drop ball, then credit to you. You don't need 7 tackles and a 20-meter restart. I just think that that's such a huge punishment for kicking a ball dead. Seriously, I think a 20-meter restart, because the game is about field position, I think that's reward enough. It seems like a harsh punishment. So it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back on that one. I think the NRL need to go all the way with it, and I hope that next year, when they come up with their bag of tricks, hopefully they cover that one off as well. And finally, set restarts is expanding. So with the 6-tackle set, rather than rewarding a full penalty for certain breaches outside of a team's 20-meter area, so outside the 20 meters, the NRL wants to give set restarts, like 6 again, to the attacking team outside their own 20, rather than only outside the 40 meters per the current rule. I don't like 6 tackles start. I don't like the 6-tackle again reset. I just think that rugby league is a fast enough game. So the thing is, and I hate this rule. I hate the 6 agains. And I hate this rule even more because it's trying to encourage even more 6 agains. Let me explain to you why. If you are an executive of any business, your job is to be strategic. Your job is to come up with ideas and solutions that are outside the box that help your business, your product, whatever it is, grow and thrive. This is lazy. And the issue with the 6 again, in my opinion, is that it manufactures a faster game. And what I'm trying to say is, if you want a faster product, then reward the rules that are already there. For example, I think most of us would agree we don't like the wrestling component within rugby league. We don't enjoy watching people pretend it's WWE and do a little bit of a tango dance on the way down to the ground. What the NRL could have done is said, we're going to make a legs tackle a dominant tackle. So if you tackle around the legs, we're going to give you more time to set your team, more time to set their line, and the markers time to get set themselves. Now, when you do that, you bring and encourage back the legs tackle. You disencourage the wrestle. And if you do that, then that encourages the tackling technique that we all grew up enjoying, which is traditional bending your back, getting your shoulder in and making a good tackle, or making a last-ditch legs tackle. And I think that would be a more positive change to creating a faster ruck, to creating a faster game. 6 again brings an element of touch football to rugby league. And for that reason, I don't like it. Now, granted, there'll be people who watch this video who think the 6 again rule is fantastic, and that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion, and everyone does have different opinions. That's what makes the game so great. But for me, I don't like the 6 again rule, and I think this rule is just once again manufacturing a faster game. Because they've already introduced, they are proposing to introduce the rule around the kickoff going to the opposition team, or the conceding team. Then I think that is enough change for reward. I just don't think you need to even the playing field or manufacture an evening of the playing field. If you're good enough, you'll be competitive. And if you're superiorly good enough, you'll win the football game. And this is why coaches get sacked and ultimately get paid lots of money. This is why these players get paid lots of money compared to the average person. It's because they are in a win and lose business. If you win, you get rewarded. If you lose, you don't. And we need to stop making rules that reward losers, to be frank. Anyway, that's my rants for the day. Let me know what your thoughts are on these rule changes. Like I said, I think, look, overall, it's a mixed bag. Big interchange bench, big tick across the board. The change in kickoff it wasn't broken, but not against it. I think that's a positive change. 6 again, get it in the bin, not interested. And then the other rule with the 6 again, yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you have a positive 2026, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. That's all from me. We'll talk to you soon. Get out of here.